to PVTV International. I'm going to present this week's editions of our news roundup. Cabinet news: Acting President urges vigilance against military council's recovery efforts. In recent days, it has been seen that the terrorist military council is attempting to take time to recuperate, to which Acting President of the National Unity Government, Duwa urged at a cabinet meeting on March 12 not to give them a breath of respite. "We must strike hard while the iron is hot," said the acting president. He continued, "The weights of the resistance and military revolutions of the Spring Revolution and the weights of the Ethnic Liberations Revolution have reached a state where they can be directly connected. The Spring Revolutions and the Ethnic Liberations Revolution have become one and the same. In such a situation, we need to be careful and refrain from talking and doing things without political cautions," the acting president said. "If we take a general look at the resistance battles and the ethnic liberations battle during the Spring Revolution, we can see that the result of the military offensive and the revolutions are similar." The acting president continued that he saw good result of the revolution in regions with proper preparations and good central command, as well as good military results. In the case of the terrorist military councils regarding the conscription law, we can see that they are taking steps that have half military and half political goals. Therefore, when countering this issue, we will have to act politically, and we may also have to use military actions, said the acting president. Acting President Duwa commemorates the 35th anniversary of MNDAA. The acting president of the National Unity Government, Duwa, conveyed a message commemorating the 35th anniversary of the establishment of the Myanmar National Democratic Alliance Army, MNDAA, on March 11. He acknowledged and expressed pride in the MNDAA's steadfast struggle for the liberations of all the people across the country. Furthermore, he extended his respect and admiration to the individuals who have courageously endured the challenges and vicissitudes throughout this history of the Spring Revolution. He lauded their unwavering commitment to the revolutionary ideal, specifically in their efforts towards the liberations of the Tagaung region and its people over the span of 35 years. NUG pledges enhanced collaboration with ethnic alliance in ongoing struggle. Prime Minister of the National Unity Government conveyed a message on the 36th anniversary of the tragic loss of Go Mo and Go Sonai. He affirmed the commitment to work closely with the People's Way, fostering trust with ethnic allied revolutionary forces. The message emphasized the government's dedication to permanently overthrowing the military dictatorship through the People's Spring Revolution. It reiterated the goal of preventing any future dictatorship in Myanmar and establishing a new federal democratic nation characterized by full equality and self-determination for all ethnic groups. Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation. NUG Prime Minister calls for effective natural resource management amidst revolution. During a session of the Central Committee for Natural Resources Administration on March 13, Prime Minister of the National Unity Government emphasized the need for streamlined management of natural resources in the light of the ongoing revolution. The Prime Minister highlights the significant expansions of processes within the union-level administrative body during the revolution. He stressed the importance of urging relevant ministry to adopt compact and systematic instructions tailored to the demands of the revolution. Additionally, Prime Minister emphasized the importance of transparency regarding the trueness and accuracy of statistics within the natural resources sector. He underscored that all issues pertaining to natural resources should be addressed by the respective ministry according to sector-specific guidelines. The Prime Minister further emphasized the necessity for businesses to organize and maintain accurate information and statistics to ensure effective resource management. Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. NUG provides over 350 million kyats in humanitarian aid in February. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management of the National Unity Government announced on March 14 that it had allocated 350.2 million kyats in humanitarian aid during February. Of this total, 183 million kyats were designated for emergency food assistance, benefiting over 190,000 refugees and displaced individuals. Additionally, 38 million kyats were allocated as emergency humanitarian aid for 196 fallen heroes and 358 individuals injured in battles. A further 15.6 million Kyats were disbursed as emergency humanitarian assistance for employees participating in the Civil Disobedience Movement (CDM), while 2.6 million Kyats were earmarked for political prisoners and their families. The ministry also noted that 111 million Kyats were allocated for general humanitarian aid purposes, demonstrating the National Unity Government's commitment to providing essential support to those in need during challenging times. Ministry of Defense, NUG forces successfully defeat enemy troops in Tagaung Township. The Defense Ministry of the National Unity Government reported a successful raid on enemy troops in Tagaung Township, resulting in the significant casualties for the terrorist military council. On March 12, the People's Defense Forces captured terrorist military council bases in Tagaung Town and Tagaung village, located in Mandalay region. The operation proved highly effective, with 14 enemy soldiers killed and 4 captured as prisoners of war. In addition to the human toll on the enemy forces, 18 various weapons and ammunition were seized. However, the operation was not without its own sacrifices, as 1 soldier from the People's Defense Forces gave their life in the line of duty, while 11 others sustained injuries during the intense battle. NUG defense officials hold strategic talks amidst ongoing conflict. The Ministry of Defense revealed on March 15 that high-level discussions were held between Union Ministers and Deputy Minister of Defense officials and key NUG leaders to address the current military landscape. Union Minister of Defense Uyimon conferred with Acting President Duwa, while Deputy Minister of Defense Tagaung met with Prime Minister Kaitan. The talk centers on the prevailing military situation, emphasizing collaborations with ethnic armed groups in various conflict zones. Specifically, discussions revolved around ongoing engagement with the Karen National Liberation Army (KNLA) in Kayin State, joint operations with the Kachin Independence Army (KIA) in Kachin State, and coordinated efforts with the Karenni National Defense Force (KNDF) in Karenni State. These strategic dialogues underscore the NUG commitment to working closely with ethnic allies to address regional security challenges. Ministry of Human Rights, NUG Minister advocates for human rights action at the UN on March 11. The National Unity Government disclosed that Myomin, the Union Minister for Human Rights, delivered a comprehensive briefing on Myanmar's human rights situation to international diplomats and ambassadors at the United Nations Politis Nations on March 8. Alongside international demands. During the presentation, Minister Myomin highlighted the grave human rights violations perpetrated by the terrorist Myanmar Military Council, emphasizing the collaborations of ethnic organizations and democratic forces in safeguarding territorial sovereignty, civil administrations, and law enforcement processes. The minister underscored key international actions to address the crisis, urging concerted efforts to impose targeted sanctions on arms and financial support to the terrorist Myanmar Military Council. He called for financial and technical assistance to the National Unity Government and ethnic organizations, as well as direct humanitarian aid to affected populations. Additionally, Minister Myomin urged sustained pressures on terrorist Myanmar Military Council to comply with Security Council Resolution number 2669 while rejecting their attempts to gain legitimacy. He called upon the Human Rights Council to draft a report on the UN agency activities in Myanmar to enhance accountability for the human rights situations in the country. Ministry of Home Affairs and Immigration, NUG reports 17 military council casualties amid ongoing defensive war. In accordance with the inherent right to self-defense amidst relentless operations by the terrorist military council, the People's Defensive War proceeds. The Ministry of Home Affairs and Immigration of the National Unity Government disclosed on March 14 that 17 members of the military councils were killed and 22 were injured in a single day on March 13, reflecting the ongoing clashes against the oppressive regime. Ministry of Health, NUG mourns loss of medical officers in Sagai region. The Ministry of Health of the National Unity Government issued a condolence message on March 9, honoring Upyo Sohin, also known as Dasa, and medical officers in the Shwebo PDF Battalion. Upyo Sohin, aged 27, briefly served in the No. 25 PDF Battalion of Shwebo District. Tragically, he was ambushed and killed by the terrorist military Council Army in the Township, Tagaung region on February 25. His courageous sacrifice for the Spring Revolutions will be remembered as he gave his life in service to his country and fellow citizens. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Myanmar's UN ambassador raises concerns over global response to terrorist conflicts. Myanmar's permanent representative to the United Nations, Moton, voiced concern over the global community's lack of attention to terrorist conflicts, which he argued is causing significant harm to communities worldwide and jeopardizing their future. Speaking at an open-door meeting titled Promoting Conflict Prevention, Empowering All Actions including Women and Youth at the United Nations Security Council on March 13, Moton questioned the United Nations' role in saving lives, particularly in Myanmar. What is the United Nations to save people's life? Moton emphasized, expressing the frustrations of the Burmese people with the UN's perceived inaction. He underscored the urgencies of the situations in Myanmar following the military coup, urging the Security Council to take effective measures to prevent further loss of innocent life, highlighting the Security Council's responsibility and authority in resolving law violations. Moton criticized its apparent reluctance or inability to address such issues effectively. He lamented the weakening of the rule of law at both domestic and international levels, emphasizing the disregard for fundamental principles outlined in the United Nations Charter and the violations of international humanitarian laws. Military Affairs Summary, second week of March 2024. During the second week of March 2024, a series of offensives led by the Kachin Independence Army KIA continued to escalate in the Kachin region, accompanied by military attacks in Kayin and Sagaing region. Under this heightened military pressure, the terrorist Myanmar Military Council, facing member shortages, resorted to forcibly recruiting new soldiers in Yangon. In Kachin State, key Myanmar Military Council installations faced relentless attacks, including those near the KIA headquarters in Lizer, along the Waimau-Bomo Road in the Pagan region, notably the Myanmar Military Council, Bunrabun Camp, near Lizer Fair, signaling significant territorial gains for the KIA. Simultaneously, the People Defense Forces and coalition troops laid siege to Kani town in Sagaing region, though they withdrew after a 10-day standoff. This event underscored the warning control of the Myanmar Military Council, even in the strategic area like Kani, near the Northwestern Military Headquarters in Mongyar. Further south, the KIA, Argan Army, People Defense Army and ABSDF intensified their assault on the Tijai, a vital communication hub in Iber Sagaing province, reflecting coordinated military actions across Upper Myanmar. Alongside the ongoing operations in Upper Myanmar, the current National Liberation Army KNLA has been making significant advances by capturing major military bases in the southern regions of the country. Notably, the KNLA successfully seized control of the Jaindong strategic military base located in the 6th Brigade area. During this operation, the KNLA, along with joint forces, secure a considerable catch of weaponry, including 120mm, 80mm and 60mm mortar, as well as taking prisoners of war. Furthermore, Palu, situated in Kokrik Township, fell into the hands of the KNA forces, resulting in the seizure of more than 20,000 pieces of weaponry, including large and small arms, along with ammunition. Concurrently, targeted attacks on Myanmar Military Council's Air Force target have been carried out. In one instance, an urban guerrilla group burned the Air Force officers' housing gate in Insing Township, Yangon. Additionally, the Mountain Night Civilian Defense Force orchestrated an attack on the Tagaung Air Force, organized by the Brave Warriors for Myanmar group, launching 5 107mm short-range missiles. As a result, 3 of these missiles successfully struck enemy Air Force targets. Let's see what do we have for our weekly roundup news in coming week. Thanks for watching PVTV International.